Aloha! Today at BeaDazzle Hawaii, we're making a spiral ring out of silver wire, 16 gauge, and it's 6 inches long for a standard ring of size 7. We're using the plastic ring sizer on our mandrel, which is marked in millimeters. So we're finding the millimeter spot for size 7 ring, and that's a 16 line. We're going to take the center of our wire and hold it down at that 16 mark and bend it around so that they crisscross at the back. And that gives you a general size and shape of your ring. Then I'm going to use a 3-step plier, and using the first step, the small size, I'm going to start my loop, and the trick to making an even spiral is using that tip as a guide between the first wire you started and the wire you're bending. So you keep your spiral about the size of your plier between the loops you're making. And the next one, we're going to go in the opposite direction. Keeping your spacing between the wires with your plier. Gently turn your plier around. I use a chain nose plier to even it out. There's a little bit of pushing and pulling you can do sometimes. I got it a little bit too tight there, so I'm pulling it out. Put that plier in again. Then I'm going to finish just using my fingers to get those spirals evenly placed and positioned so we can hammer them. Now we have this cute little anvil at our store and a chasing hammer, which is rounded and polished to give a nice smooth finish. We're going to texture these spirals though, so I'm using the flat top of our anvil, and I'm going to flatten the spirals. Can you see the shine in the flattened side? You want to hit in the center of your hammer and center of your anvil and stay away from the edge because you don't want the edge to cut into your wire. Now I'm going to turn the hammer around and use the ball end of the hammer to make a little bit of a texture on those flattened surfaces. little bit of sparkle. And when we're hammering, it tends to spread your spirals out a bit, so you want to readjust them. Like that. And then use your ring mandrel again to size them, and I'm going back to the 16 mark. You may have to go up a little higher to allow for the spring back. And once you have that set, it's right at the 16 mark now. And I'm just going to turn the spiral in a little bit to make them even. And there's your spiral ring.